Canadian whiskey, it makes you feel frisky. The hangover's risky, your head's in a fog.
Chasse Galerie is about 4 woodswomen in Quebec in the 19th century who pine for the warmth of home. They meet a mysterious stranger in a cabin in the woods on New Year's Eve, and he offers to fly them back to Montreal in his magic canoe on the condition that they don't swear, because Quebec swear words are sacrilegious. They can't touch crosses, and they have to be home by dawn. And then, what happens? An adventure.
All of our cast members play instruments and sing, so we kind of just work the music like right into the story and have it kind of come from the characters themselves. And it's just like a really fun, exciting thing for the audience.
The play is set in the Flying Canoe bar in Old Montreal. So when the audience comes in, they come into that bar in Quebec, and they're welcomed into the story. And so there's a band at the bar, obviously, and they're telling the story through music. So then it spiraled out of control. It was the play that became a musical.
It sounds so tacky, but it's like there's no real fourth wall.
No, there isn't.
There really isn't. So it's cabaret style seating. So as soon as you're in the space, you are part of the party.
The only way you could leave the show not smiling is if you don't have a pulse. There is this like sense of joy and inclusivity and just this energy that envelops the whole space, and beyond the fact that it's going to be kind of site specific and there's a bar, all the physical trappings, the really special thing is that energy we all throw out there and involve everyone in, and everyone feels like they're part of it.
Yeah.
And that's a really special thing.
I feel like it was one of the more challenging acting experiences I ever had, because there was no lying. It just felt like somebody's right behind you, in front of you, side to side. You couldn't do anything without being very close to an audience member.
Let your mental state slowly decline.
And also James's music is so infectious. It creates the atmosphere, and it feels really Canadian in all the right ways.
But not in like the way we use it as a derogatory term.
No, it feels like home. It feels like Toronto in December, or wherever you would spend December every year.
The first shot may seem grim, but after the
Tyrone talks a lot about the magic of this show and how he uses this metaphor about there being this glowing ball of light that we pass to each other and to the audience. And I think having the audience as both observers and participants in the story, like they're patrons of the Flying Canoe Bar, that is what makes the story so magical, because we're inviting them to come on the journey with us to Montreal in 1885. And yeah, it's incredible.
The thing that makes Chasse Galerie special, I think, is the element of, I've talked about it sometimes, called rough magic, which is where through the collective imagination of the audience, you go on this journey. So we want you to, how do you make a canoe fly in a little theater? And how do people go into hell and all those kind of things? So we're hoping that when you go into this warm bar, that you are transported back and through your imagination, and anything is possible on this night of adventure and romance.